country.
I want to ask you about this.
Yeah.
You can ask. No, I want to ask you specifically about this and get your response, because Peter Dutton says there were reports in a credible military publication, Jane's, that the Russians requested a presence there. Why isn't he well within his rights to seek some comfort and reassurance that that is not happening? Why shouldn't he ask that?
He's entitled, and he should ask that. That's not what he did. He seized on what he thought was an opportunity to try and raise a bit of international friction. That's exactly what he did. The Russians are entitled to ask anybody for anything. I am entitled, despite having worked for 4, 5, 6 Labour leaders over the years in elections against the coalition, for life membership of the Liberal Party. But it doesn't mean that's going to happen. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. What he should have done was to seek an assurance privately first, get the facts straight. Diplomacy is about understanding what's happening. If he had looked at this issue first before shooting his mouth off, he would have also known that the Russians actually issued a statement a year or a year and a half ago claiming that they were selling arms to the Indonesians when there was no such agreement. So it's not the first time it's happened. If he had sort of checked it out first, he would have known that this would have been unlikely to be granted, because the region we're talking about is very, very close to a big mining centre that is co-owned by the United States, one of the world's biggest deposits of copper and of nickel and other things, and gold. So, this is unlikely to have been requested. The point is, if you're an experienced international leader, you know the difference between how to raise something and what to raise and when. And that's not what's happened here. He's escalated something and put it in the public eye for a political purpose, to try and make his opponent look weak. Actually, what he did was just reinforce why Anthony Albanese and Penny Wong are the right people for the job, and Richard Marles, because they actually went to go and get the facts first, which is what you do. It's what you do when you're friends with someone. You ask them what's actually happened first.
David Gazard, what's your analysis of this issue? How does that play out, particularly in the context of, we've got the second debate tonight, and we're less than halfway to go in the campaign. We're over the halfway mark. You've got Easter this weekend, Anzac Day long weekend the following weekend. How does this all play out in your view?
Well, I think the first point to make is that it is entirely within his rights as opposition leader to ask the question, given the growing relationship between Indonesia and Russia, about an article that's appeared in a credible defence publication. Now, let's just cast our mind back. We don't have to go very far. Over the course of this campaign, there has been a Chinese warship within our economic zone in a live firing event that the Australian government knew nothing about. This is the foreign relations that Eamon is heralding here. We've had a Chinese spy ship, sail along the route of an underwater submarine cable, a telecommunications cable. Noting its route, it sailed between Tasmania and Victoria. And the Prime Minister's response to that has been to say, well, Australia would prefer it wasn't there. So in a world of where we're getting to more global uncertainty in terms of the economy, in terms of security, you can see the sand shifting day by day. It is well within the rights of the opposition to query what would happen if there was a base. And let's not pussyfoot around this. There have been attempts by the Chinese to establish bases on PNG, on the Solomon Islands. Throughout the South Pacific, they are flexing their muscle, looking to increase their presence across our region of the world. A Russian base in that area would be disastrous for Australia. Let's call that a spade a spade. The idea that this government is across this when we've had live firing events in our waters over the course of just the election campaign, as China flexes its muscle across the region, is well within the rights of the opposition.
Okay. David and Eamon, gents, we're out of time. I appreciate you joining us. I'll see you next week.